Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun, a dusty, cold, desert world with a very thin atmosphere. Mars is the furthest terrestrial planet from the Sun. The reddish color of its surface is due to finely grained iron-3 oxide dust in the soil, giving it the nickname the Red Planet. There is a sharp contrast between the two Martian hemispheres. The northern hemisphere is on average flatter and smoother than the southern hemisphere. The planet's two poles are covered by water and carbon dioxide ice caps. Surrounding the Martian surface is a dynamic thin atmosphere, 1% of Earth's surface pressure, made primarily of carbon dioxide. Mars has two irregularly shaped natural satellites, Phobos and Deimos. Mars is also a dynamic planet with seasons, polar ice caps, canyons, extinct volcanoes, and evidence that it was even more active in the past. Mars is one of the most explored bodies in our solar system, and it's the only planet where we've sent rovers to roam the alien landscape. NASA currently has two rovers, Curiosity and Perseverance, one lander, InSight, and one helicopter, Ingenuity, exploring the surface of Mars. The existence of Mars as a wandering object in the night sky was recorded by ancient Egyptian astronomers. By the 2nd millennium BCE, they were familiar with the apparent retrograde motion of the planet, in which it appears to move in the opposite direction across the sky from its normal progression. Mars was portrayed on the ceiling of the tomb of Seti I, on the Ramesseum ceiling, and in the Sen-en-Mut star map. The last is the oldest known star map, being dated to 1534 BCE based on the position of the planets. Mars has a mean radius of 3,389.5 kilometers, 2,106 miles, the second smallest among planets in the solar system. The gravity on its surface is about 3.72 meters/s2, 12.2 feet/s2, which is 38% of Earth's. The temperature on the Martian surface usually ranges from -110 degrees Celsius, -166 degrees Fahrenheit, to 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Geologically, Mars is fairly active, with dust devils sweeping the landscape and Marsquakes trembling in the ground, a Martian analog to earthquakes. The surface of Mars also hosts the highest mountain, Olympus Mons, and one of the largest canyons in the solar system, Valles Marineris. Days and seasons on Mars are comparable to those of Earth, with a day length of 24.5 hours, a year length of 1.88 Earth years, and an axial tilt only slightly greater than Earth's. Like the other planets, Mars was formed 4.5 billion years ago. The internal structure of Mars is thought to be composed of an outer crust, a mantle made of silicates, and an inner liquid core. During the Noachian period from about 4.1 to 3.7 billion years ago, Mars's surface was marked by meteor impacts, valley formation, erosion, and the possible presence of water oceans. The Hesperian period from 3.7 to 3.2 to 2 billion years ago was dominated by widespread volcanic activity and flooding that carved immense outflow channels. The Amazonian period, which continues today, was marked by the wind's influence on geological processes. It is not yet known whether life has ever existed on Mars. Mars is among the brightest objects in Earth's sky, with considerable cultural significance. The name Mars is that of the Roman god of war. Perseverance rover, the largest, most advanced rover NASA has sent to another world, touched down on Mars on February 18, 2021, after a 203-day journey traversing 293 million miles, 472 million kilometers. Perseverance, nicknamed Percy, is a car-sized Mars rover designed to explore the Jezero crater on Mars as part of NASA's Mars 2020 mission. It was manufactured by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and launched on July 30, 2020. The Ingenuity helicopter rode to Mars attached to the belly of Perseverance. Perseverance is one of 3 spacecraft that arrived at Mars in 2021. The Mars Perseverance rover mission is part of NASA's Mars Exploration Program, a long-term effort of robotic exploration of the Red Planet. The Mars Perseverance mission addresses high-priority science goals for Mars exploration, including key questions about the potential for life on Mars. The mission takes the next step by not only seeking signs of habitable conditions on Mars in the ancient past, but also searching for signs of past microbial life itself. The Mars Perseverance rover introduces a drill that can collect core samples of the most promising rocks and soils and set them aside in a cache on the surface of Mars. The mission also provides opportunities to gather knowledge and demonstrate technologies that address the challenges of future human expeditions to Mars. These include testing a method for producing oxygen from the Martian atmosphere, identifying other resources, such as subsurface water, improving landing techniques, and characterizing weather, dust, and other potential environmental conditions that could affect future astronauts living and working on Mars. It carries 7 primary payload instruments, 19 cameras, and 2 microphones. Curiosity is a car-sized Mars rover designed to explore the Gale crater on Mars as part of NASA's Mars Science Laboratory (MSL) mission. Curiosity was launched from Cape Canaveral, CIFS, on November 26, 2011. Mission goals include an investigation of the Martian climate and geology, assessment of whether the selected field site inside Gale has ever offered environmental conditions favorable for microbial life, including investigation of the role of water, and planetary habitability studies in preparation for human exploration. Adjusted for inflation, Curiosity has a life cycle cost of $3.2 billion in 2020 dollars. By comparison, the 2021 Perseverance rover has a life cycle cost of $2.9 billion. Mars having 2 natural satellites. The 2 moons of Mars are Phobos and Deimos. They are irregular in shape. Both were discovered by American astronomer Asaph Hall in August 1877 and are named after the Greek mythological twin characters Phobos, fear and panic, and Deimos, terror and dread, who accompanied their father Ares into battle. Ares, god of war, was known to the Romans as Mars. Both moons are tidally locked, always presenting the same face towards Mars. Since Phobos orbits Mars faster than the planet itself rotates, tidal forces are slowly but steadily decreasing its orbital radius. At some point in the future, when it falls within the Roche limit, Phobos will be broken up by these tidal forces and either crash into Mars or form a ring. Several strings of craters on the Martian surface, inclined further from the equator the older they are, suggest that there may have been other small moons that suffered the fate expected of Phobos, and that the Martian crust as a whole shifted between these events. Deimos, on the other hand, is far enough away that its orbit is being slowly boosted instead, akin to Earth's moon. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, press the like button. Subscribe our channel to support us and press the bell icon to get the next video notification. See you in next space adventure.